heard the saying, you get what you pay for? Well, today I'm going to test that theory with a really inexpensive aluminum underbody panel for my Tesla Model Y. Now, let's get the car up in the air so I can show you exactly why I'm going to be installing this. So obviously I have a lift. Being able to walk under the car makes it much easier to work on. This isn't something that is necessary for you to do this job at home. There are not that many bolts. There's 4 there, 4 there, 5, 6, 7, 15 or so bolts. I don't math very hard in my head.
All right, so while he was over here trying to do the math in his head and it was wrong, I actually counted them and there are 7 bolts and then 2 15mm nuts up here.
If you could get the front end up just enough on a set of wheel chocks or jack stands or on little ramps like I have linked down below, you'll be able to get under here, not comfortably, mind you, but you'll be able to get under here to do this. You see, the bottom of this car is nearly perfectly flat. Part of that is because the whole center section of the car is the battery. That's this area here. And this right here is the front side of the battery. This is the panel in question that we're looking to replace. And it's a pretty rigid, nice built plastic panel. But right up against the face of the battery, we have both connectors and coolant lines right up underneath here. If you were to accidentally run over a dead animal, a live animal, or something in the road, anything that could possibly puncture or break this panel, it's gonna go right up into the face of your battery and possibly damage componentry there. The guys over at Electrified Garage did a fantastic video showing how they were able to repair the coolant fitting up in here. And I'll play a little section of that now.
So this has been happening on a 2-wheel drive. It happens on all-wheel drives. We've seen it happen before. But this one was a lot worse because there's nothing there to take the impact. He ran over something and it punched through the belly pan. And what it did was it hit this plastic coolant tube right here and it smacked the battery nipple and it cracked the nipple right here. You can see it cracked the bottom half of that nipple. The problem is Tesla says the only way to fix this is to replace the battery.
Really?
At $16,000.
No, that's cheap, right?
Yeah. So they're like, yeah, it's junk. You can't fix it. You need a battery. I say otherwise.
So preferably the tools you're going to need for this job are a 10mm socket, 15mm socket, and some sort of drive mechanism to get them off. An impact would work fantastic for this. However, these bolts have Loctite on them. And whenever there's a bolt with Loctite, you don't really want to use an impact until that Loctite has been broken free, because you have the potential of galling up the threads. So what I'm going to wind up using is my 1/4-inch ratchet, which is going to provide me with enough torque and a little bit of leverage versus the impacting torque that could gall up the threads and damage things. You can do this by hand too. I'm just getting too old for that crap. For these big 15mm nuts, they don't take any Loctite, so I'll just hit them with my baby impact. There are these 2 little tabs here that kind of hook up into the battery. With our panel off, we can see exactly what it is we're trying to protect. We've got high voltage lines, and then these plastic lines are our coolant lines, the same that I was showing you in the video from Electrified Garage. That repair saved somebody a significant amount of money, and I hope I never have to worry about anything like that. But as you can see in the fender here, there are plastic coolant lines running all over the place to the battery, and well, plastic eventually breaks or gets damaged, so I'm going to do everything I can to mitigate it. The part about whether or not spending more money or less money is a good idea is I've seen these splash panels for all sorts of different prices online, and when I was perusing Amazon and found this one for $39 plus $10 shipping, yep, it wasn't even Prime, I thought, well, it's got to be worth trying it. It's aluminum. It's got a little window here to get to the oil filter, which is kind of silly because the factory one doesn't. And it has this neoprene sound insulation material on here to try to help keep sound down. And it came with these 2 little special nuts to go over the 15mm studs. All right, well, I'm going to put this on live with you to see if it even lines up remotely close. Here's to hoping it was $50 well spent. So far, so good. Everything lines up. It looks like the panel, though, needs to go up underneath these side panels. So I'm gonna have to pull those, whereas the factory one doesn't.
I don't think it goes under.
You don't think it goes under? You think I have to take that bolt out and it goes over? I think it goes under because that bolt can't possibly be long enough. These are pretty far back too.
What even screws in here? Nothing unscrewed from right here from the old one.
Well, not from the old one.
Oh, it came out, wait, right here, right.
Well, the old one just stopped right here in the corner. The new one goes in all the way. Looks like it would provide more protection. Loctite on there for sure. Ow! Whoa, man, that was hot. Yeah, don't touch the bolt head. The washer cold, bolt head, very hot. Okay, round two. Let's see. If I pull this back, try to get this underneath. Tougher to try to get it back there. Yeah.
Because now those don't sit flat.
You're right. I think trying it over the top makes more sense. Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta really squeeze it. It's buckling the powder coat just a little right there. Yep.
Bends the whole thing.
Yeah, it pulls it right up and in. I don't like that big old lock washer on there. Doesn't look like it goes flat. I'm just gonna put Loctite on it with a different big washer. All right, so I've got a big washer. This is just a washer from Home Depot, zinc plated, so it's not gonna rust, and a tiny bit of Loctite on there. Yeah, I like that look better versus the lock washer. I'm sure the lock washer would serve its own purpose, but it definitely wasn't crimping down like I want it to. So the Loctite will do the job of the lock washer. Now I'll go ahead and throw Loctite on the bolts that are out, and then the bolts that are in we'll pull out and put Loctite on those. Basically, I'm hoping I don't have to pull this panel down anytime soon. Well, do you get what you pay for? I think I got a lot more than I paid for in this case. Everything fit. I didn't have to adjust any of the holes. It was my choice to add the different washers on here, which I suppose I could have spray painted black, but who's gonna see it but me? I mean, these screws here for the oil filter access are silver. And it all went in solidly. Do I think it's gonna make any difference in sound transmission? No. Most of the sound transmission happens through the tires, through the suspension, through the geometry of the body and into the car, not necessarily from here. So I'm actually really excited that this worked out so well. It's on there nice and tight. Everything seems to be protected, just like the underbody of the battery itself. So would I recommend this thing? For sure. I think it's worth every penny of the 50 bucks that I spent compared to spending hundreds of dollars on one of the other ones out there in the aftermarket. So take a look at my links down below. And if you like this video, like and subscribe. If you didn't, tell me below. Why didn't you like it? I guess though, if you didn't like it, you wouldn't have made it this far. Oh well. I'll see you guys in the next one.